Hello gamers, this is Lumnix again bringing you a new episode of Supreme Commander. Of course we're playing as the Seraphim, and of course we're still going over the all-ground assault tactic for the Seraphim. We're still working on this strategy. I want you guys to get this strategy down. This time it's going to be in the Williamson Bridge. It's a 5x5 map. The last map that we did was a 10x10, which was a much bigger map, and there was much more to reclaim. In this map there's still a good amount of things to reclaim. Let's go to the map, of course. This is the map. This is called the Williamson Bridge. It's a 5x5 map. My opponent is 500 strong. He is a much more experienced player, a higher ranking player like I mentioned. Whenever you play competitively, the game matches you up in a random map. A set line of map. It changes from time to time. The set of maps for competitive gameplay changes from time to time. This time this set includes the Williamson Bridge, and I got lucky enough to play in it against Bernie Sanders apparently. That's gonna be interesting, huh? Alright, the fun thing about this gameplay is that he felt so confident that he was gonna be able to beat me based on his ranking. Well, let's see how it goes for him, shall we? With the all-ground assault tactic. Let's get this game on the road. Alright. So on the southeast side of things, it is me, Lumnix, again Seraphim, starting my T1 land factory already. Definitely working on that first. My opponent is traveling. That is such a bad decision, guys. Don't ever travel whenever you're starting off. And of course he said good. He meant to say good luck, have fun, but he said go have fun. So, oh man, he feels definitely so confident that he's gonna beat me. All right, so he traveled, wasted time. And now he's building his T1 land factory. Well, let's see where I'm at. I finished already. He's still building his. So in a small map, don't travel. Don't travel and just build your first land factory right where you are, okay? I'm already working on my first engineer. Don't forget about your engineers. Build your engineers. This time I'm not going to build as many to reclaim because I need more engineers to... I need less engineers because I need more combat units faster because... Like I said, I don't know what he's doing technically. Look, this is what I'm able to see whenever I'm actually in the game, okay? That's what I'm able to see, so I don't know what my opponent's up to. For all I know, he's probably already sending tanks my way. I don't know. Okay? So that's why you don't build as many engineers in a small map. This is a 5x5 map. This is as small as they get. As long, well, as so far that I know, at least. Alright, let's check it out. So I already have my engineers. Of course I have some reclaiming. Check it out. And let's see what my opponent is doing. Is he reclaiming? It doesn't look like it, so... Who has the advantage? Yours truly. Lumnix does. Alright, let's see what happens here. Reclaiming is such an important part of the game that if you do it and your opponent doesn't, you already have a really good advantage, and there's a pretty good chance you're going to be able to beat him. Like I said, he felt so confident that he was going to be able to win. And he just doesn't know what's coming, does he? Now let's check it out right here, guys. He is building a whole line of T1 power generators over here. Each power generator gives you 20 power for your military. So let's check out what I'm doing over here. I already built it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 power generators, and I felt that that's all I needed. This is a small map. I need to get to building my tanks, and I did that. Check it out. So how many engineers do I have right now in a 5x5 map? I got 1, 2, 3, 4 engineers. That's all I needed. This is a small map. I don't have time to build that many engineers because I feel if I would have built like 5 or 6 engineers, my enemy could have possibly already had a tank on my side and already started keeping me busy on my side of the field, and I just really don't want that. Okay? So I'm already having my tanks. I'm sending them over here to see to defend my engineers. You can see I already posted a tank right here, right in front of my engineer, protecting him from any incoming tanks. So don't forget to protect your expanding engineers, guys. A very important thing that I taught you in the previous episode of this tactic. Alright, let's check it out over here, what he's doing. He is building, he's expanding his with his mass extractors over here. How many engineers does he have? He has 1, 2, 3. He is not reclaiming, guys. He is not reclaiming. Am I reclaiming? Of course I am. I'm not. This is such a small map, guys, that reclaiming gives you such a huge leap in the game that you need to reclaim, okay? Don't ever forget to reclaim. Even if it's just 1 or 2 engineers reclaiming A, that's perfect. Alright, remember in the 10 by 10 map, how many engineers did I have? Like about 7 to start off with, or 6. That's perfect. In the 5 by 5 map, how many do I have? 4. I think I have 2. I think I decided to have 2 reclaiming and 2 expanding, if I'm not mistaken. I'm gonna intercept an incoming tank. As you can see, this is a Cybran tank. It's a very fast tank. It's a very fast tank, actually. So what's the advantage of my opponent is that he has faster units. He has much faster units than me. But of course, I'm already in his side. I'm already harassing. And I did mention that my player is much stronger, a 500 strong ranking. He feels very confident that he's gonna be able to beat me. And I built my second land factory already. It's right here. And they're both building tanks. Both of my T1 land factories that I have are building tanks. Okay, so I have 2 T1 land factories building tanks, and I'm already building my third right here. And what am I gonna do with my third? You're probably wondering. Well, it's time to what? It's already the 4-minute mark, so it's time to upgrade to Tech 2. I am a Seraphim player. I need to upgrade to Tech 2 as soon as possible, like I mentioned in the previous episode. I'm sending a wave of units over here to go ahead and, like I said last time, we need to keep him on his side. We need to keep the harassment. We need to keep the pressure up. We cannot let him feel comfortable in his area. We cannot let him fortify his area. He has an engineer over here. He's gonna try to build some T1 land factories right here. I'm not gonna allow that to happen. I'm just not gonna allow that to happen. He is building something over here. I take that whole area down. I completely wipe out his west side. His west side gets wiped out. I'm sending some units to wipe out his northeast side. So you can see he's building his land factory right here. I'm not gonna let that happen. Don't let that happen. I'm keeping the. What am I doing, guys? Just like I said in the last episode, I'm keeping the pressure up. Keep the pressure up. Keep them busy on their side. This is the all-ground assault tactic. Right here in this episode, I decided not to build an air factory because I didn't need it. It didn't seem like he was building air units. So at the moment, I decided that I didn't really need it, and to focus and put my resources into building more land units to keep him preoccupied and not give him the choice to build air units, because he's gonna be so busy in the land that if he decides to build air units, he might just get destroyed in the land. So he's actually focusing on the ground. So I'm keeping him on the ground, right? This is a small map, so it is possible to keep your enemy, keep the pressure so hard on the ground that he needs to keep his units on the ground as well. All right, and that this works only on a small map, of course, because you're able to keep the pressure up in a small map. Alright, so as you can see, I am expanding. What did I say? Never stop expanding, never stop improving. Always try to expand. Check that out. I'm already over here building on his northeast side, and I'm heading to the west side to defend this little area right here that I'm building up. This engineer is building my west area very well. I'm sending some tanks and some artillery over here to help defend that area. He has a good amount of troops over here defending the entrance to his west side. As you can see, well, that's okay, because I just need to protect this little area right here. He might be successful in this little push that he does, but that's gonna be irrelevant. As you can see, I decided to build more tanks with that third T1 land factory, because this is a small map and T1 units are very critical in a small map. So what did I do with my fourth T1 land factory? Started upgrading it. I know I said that I upgraded my third, but no. I decided that it was more important to pop up T1 units, because I wasn't. If I didn't do that, even if I upgraded that one, I wasn't gonna be able to keep up with the amount of units he was producing. So in a small map, build at least 3 T1 land factories and produce tanks from there. As you can see, I'm gonna be able to defend this area. This is a good little battle right here that happens. I end up destroying his tanks over here. I gotta say, that's why I like the Cybran. I really like those tanks that have legs. They're just really cool. Alright. As you can see, I already finished upgrading my base. I upgraded to Tech 2. He has not upgraded to Tech 2. He has all his factories working on T1 land units. And what did I say about Seraphim? We have a superior advantage at T2 over T1 land units. Like, one Ishiba can take on so many T1 land units that imagine 2 Ishibas. I can completely shatter them. So imagine combining the Ishibas with a bunch of T1 land units versus T1 land units. Who's gonna win? Of course I am. Okay, the Ishiba got 2,500 health. There's no T1 unit that can break that, especially with the firepower the Ishiba got. So I decided to withdraw these units over here to the back line because I noticed my first Ishiba gets completed right here. There goes my first Ishiba. Okay, so I decided to combine it with my tanks, like I said in the previous episode about this tactic, regarding this tactic. Okay, I combined it. I set it on I grouped them up and I moved them as a group. Okay, you'll be able to see that I am moving them as one group. They're moving together in a formation, and I'm gonna push over on that side. I'm pushing on the west side because he has a good amount of units on the west side, so I need to go ahead and take care of that. Okay, I can't allow him to get control of my west side, because then he's gonna get a good flank on me. His mistake is not putting any engineers wherever his defenses are. Like, if he has a bunch of tanks right here, he could have done a lot better by having some engineers over here building like a lot of T1 point defense. If he would have built some T1 point defense right here, I might have not been successful right here. But because he didn't do that early, I was able to put. Look at my issue, but just grinding through those units. Look at that. And on this side, I have some units pushing as well. Okay, so I'm keeping my defenses up on this side while pushing my T2 units over here. So I'm focusing all of my T1 units defense on the northeast side, and I'm pushing my T2 units with a little bit of T1 tanks to protect the west side. There goes the Ishiba, just wrecking through all of them, guys. The Ishiba's just wrecking them. Look at that. There goes the Ishiba, just absolutely wrecking them. And yes, I do have a second Ishiba on the way. I decide to go back and regroup with that other Ishiba. So there you go, I grouped them up. I grouped them together. What did I say? I focus all my units. I did have a radar right here, so I was able to detect units coming from the middle. So I go ahead and intercept that. And my 2 Ishibas are just going to town over here. Just going to town on these 2 T1 units. I know I did tell you guys that never ever send your Ishibas by themselves. But in this case, I do manage to sneak them to the back. Just like I mentioned, the only acceptable way to do it is by successfully penetrating their defenses and doing some serious infrastructure damage. Okay, so like I said, I was able to detect them coming from the middle, and I end up intercepting them with 1 Ishiba right here. That's all I needed. Look at that Ishiba, destroying them. Look at that, man, gone. They're gone. At this point, I think he just gives up. I managed to push to the back. This is exactly what I'm talking about, guys. This strategy, push those Ishiba. If you're gonna do this, at least push them to the back. He ends up building air units, but that's a big mistake. Big mistake. Because right now I'm all ground, and no amount of air units are gonna help him here. Okay? And look at what he says. Oh my god. WTF. He didn't expect to be bit. And he's mentioning my ranking, which is 300. He doesn't even say good game. He doesn't even say good game. I can't believe it. I say good game to him, but he was just upset to be defeated by a lower ranking than him. So what did we learn in this episode is that always reclaim. It's very important. You saw the difference. He didn't reclaim. I reclaimed, and I was very successful at the starting resources battle, if you want to call it that. And I was able to produce more units, and I was able to produce a T2 units very quickly. And the second mistake that he made was walking before building his first T1 land factory. Never ever travel to build your first land factory, because your enemy is gonna finish building his first T1 land factory if he doesn't travel to build his first land factory. And guess what? He's gonna probably build a tank and go harass you and kill all of your engineers. And what are you gonna do about it? Build a tank? But then what resources are you gonna really have then? You're gonna be stuck, right? It can be problematic. Don't ever be in that situation, guys. Always think, always reclaim. It's very important to reclaim. Build your set of T1 land factories and then support it with your T2 land factory, okay? I hope you guys enjoyed this episode, and I hope to see you in the next episode where I'm gonna go over some tactics for the Seraphim that include dropping units from carriers. Yeah, we're gonna be able to we're gonna set a network of carrier ships or transport ships to drop units in different areas of the map and just completely destroy and confuse the enemy. He's not gonna be knowing where to defend, where to send units to, because they're gonna be dropping in random areas where he's operating. So he's not gonna see it coming. I'm gonna be able to even drop them in his infrastructure hub and take down his infrastructure, kill his main infrastructure, so he's not gonna be able to build units as effectively as I am. I hope you're gonna look forward to that. I'll see you next time, guys. Bye.